It is a beautiful day for a ball game, and the next 48 hours will reveal the direction this team intends to take, and if change is inevitable, it may involve the mound, the man who is on the mound today. So for that story, let's take you to the man who will call this game. Dan Schulman is with Joe Siddall.
Jamie, thank you. You're exactly right. This could go a number of different directions in the next couple of days. A lot of emotion in the ballpark today. I think we can all count on that because this conceivably, Joe, is Kevin Gausman's last start as a Blue Jay.
Kevin Gausman has been everything and more when he signed his 5-year contract to be with this franchise. You go all the way back to when he first started 2022 and what an impact he made on this organization in his first season. He has just been a model of consistency. He's been a durable starter, taking the ball every turn. He's going to go deep in ball games. He's going to take it on turn and give you his best effort every time. He's going to give you innings. Starting pitchers take a lot of pride in that. We see a lot of emotion in these pictures of what he brought to this organization. 3 complete games throughout his tenure here as a Blue Jay. And how can you not remember this? The postseason last year, Kevin, all kinds of highlights. He laid it out there each and every time. He pitched very, very well. Yes, this team came up short, but when you think about Kevin Gausman, he is the poster boy for what you want in a Blue Jays uniform.
One of the best free agent signings in franchise history. There is no doubt about that. Kevin Gausman has finished his warm-up pitches here at Rogers Center and is making his way into the third base dugout. Jamie, he will take the mound momentarily as the Blue Jays try to make it 2 in a row over the Cardinals.
So as Gausman nears the end of his career, the Blue Jays will face a young man just beginning his in left-hander Quinn Matthews. So we'll see how this all plays out as the second of this 3-game series is on tap next here on Sportsnet. Stay with us.
Only in theaters August 14th.
Welcome to Rogers Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet. Game 2 between the Cardinals and the Blue Jays. Lefty Quinn Matthews making his major league debut for the Cardinals, and of course you know all about Kevin Gausman and what he has done here, and at least the possibility of this being his last start. We'll break it down a little bit, talk about it over the course of the afternoon, but there's also a ball game to be played. The Blue Jays are 4.5 out of the final wild card spot. Still keeping slim hopes alive that they can maybe keep this group intact and make a run, but of course every single game, Joe, is so important in that regard.
It's so critical. The Blue Jays have put themselves in this position as we turn the calendar over to August. Lots of teams above them. It's a tough go, but very interesting to see the direction this team takes. And if it's one of those hybrid situations, maybe it makes August and September a little bit more fun around the Rogers Center.
Kevin Gausman, about as popular as any guy, has been around these parts for many, many years, and there are many good reasons for that. And he will face a team with one of the youngest lineups, one of the youngest groups in Major League Baseball. Not a very good offensive team this year, and more so lately, averaging just about 3 runs per game over their last 14. But J.J. Weatherholt, very talented rookie at the top. Jordan Walker, Burleson, Herrera all have a lot of power. The Blue Jay pitching staff, Cease and 3 relievers, did a very nice job on them last night, held them to a run on 5 hits. Kevin Gausman will try to keep that rolling here today.
Kevin 4-10 on the season in his 22 starts. That ERA around 4.5, and he finished up July on a positive note, coming up after a tough stretch in June and July. The final start of the month was at Fenway Park. He allowed 3 runs over 6 innings, but 2 of those came on a bloop 2-run double by Jarren Duran in the 4th inning. He did strike out 6, but it was one of those days that there were some soft contact, and he got a little frustrated and turned to that fastball a little bit more. A lot of foul balls. See if he can't put away some of these young Cardinals hitters earlier today. Defensively for the Blue Jays, Davis Schneider gets the nod back out in left field with the lefty on the mound. Varsho is in center, and Straw, like Schneider, gets the start as the right-handed bat. Okamoto and Clement on the left side. Urias and Guerrero on the right side. Alejandro Kirk is behind the plate as John Schneider tweaks his lineup with the lefty on the mound for the Cardinals.
And it is a brilliant summery afternoon here at Rogers Center. The roof is wide open. It's absolutely perfect, and this ball game is underway with a well-located fastball down and away for a strike. It is 0-1 on Weatherholt. 251, does have power, does have speed. Takes that one just below the knees, and it's 1-1. Kevin Gausman, as he has been in recent starts, working from the windup with nobody on base. This is his 148th regular season appearance and start as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Splitter for a strike, 2-2. Signed a 5-year deal prior to the 2022 season. Coming off a great year with the Giants. And has made at least 31 starts in each of the first 4. Hasn't missed a turn this year. Durable. Foul it off to stay alive. Has been pretty much every year the 1 or 2 in the Blue Jay rotation. He started a ton of big games. Started 7 playoff games for them. 8 playoff appearances. And as much as people talk about his pitching, they talk just as glowingly about the person that he is as well. Rolled up the middle. Clement the play to get Weatherhold one down. And again, I think in some circles there was talk about whether he would even make this start. As you probably heard if you've been reading or watching, the Mets scratch Freddie Peralta, the Tigers scratch Casey Mize, although there may have been some physical reasons for that. Kevin Gausman is on the mound, but I don't think we can draw conclusions one way or another about whether this means he will be traded or not. Here's Jordan Walker. Maybe the simplest explanation is the front office hasn't decided yet whether they want to be buyers or sellers or hybrid or whatever the case may be. There are a couple more days to play with. They could be anywhere from 2.5 to 6.5 out of the last playoff spot. Good splitter there. 0-2, so maybe they're trying to win games. So Kevin Gausman's going to start, and they will live with the very minimal risk of anything going wrong with him sustaining an injury or that sort.
We are inching closer to that deadline, just over 48 hours away. So yes, you try to win 2 more ball games here and see where you're at in those standings, because it's very different than 2024. They're much further back in the standings, still have a handful of teams above them. That's the trick. The tough part is passing teams in the standings. They have 5 teams above them.
Yeah.
But if you can somehow go on a sort of a run, whether it's, you rattle off 10 or 12. They haven't shown that they can do that this year. There's no reason to believe that. But this is a crazy game of baseball, and if the front office takes that direction, you just never know what they can pull off.
1-2. Swing and a miss to get him. 2 down.
Kevin Gausman is pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. He'll mix in the slider, but when you can get hitters thinking off speed, he can elevate the heater.
Strikeouts are brought to you by Subway. Get 25% off any footlong on game days. Order in the Subway app using the code STRIKEOUT. 2 down here in the top of the first, and a swing and a miss by Alec Burleson, the first baseman for the Cardinals. He's got 15 home runs on the season. Had a double and a walk and 4 trips to the plate last night. Burleson has seen more of Gausman than any other Cardinals hitter. He's 2 for 7 against him. And he'll lift this one to very shallow left field, and it'll get down for a base hit. Did not square it up at all, but he loops it into shallow left for a single.
Splitter down below the zone, clearly toward the end of the bat of Burleson. Doesn't get much on it at all, enough to get it over Ernie's head into shallow left, but neither Varsho nor Schneider could make it there.
So a 2-out single for Burleson, and that'll bring the DH Ivan Herrera to the plate. A .244 hitter, a dozen homers on the season. Fastball down the middle, taken for a strike. Maybe he was guessing first pitch splitter.
And I think Kevin Gausman, being the veteran that he is, can really keep this young lineup from the Cardinals off balance, mostly with those 2 pitches. Get him guessing.
Ground ball to third. Okamoto's got it. He'll go the short way to force the lead runner. And it's a good start to the afternoon for Kevin Gausman.
Close.
A lefty on the mound for the Cardinals, Luis Urias, who had the pinch hit two-run single in the bottom of the eighth, finds himself right up top here today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Kaz Okamoto, George Springer, Alejandro Kirk, then the lone lefty in Dalton Varsho, Ernie Clement, Miles Straw, and Davis Schneider rounding it out against a young man making his major league debut here today, lefty Quinn Matthews.
Matthews is 6'5" out on that mound, 25 years old. He's a fourth-round draft pick of the Cardinals in 2023 out of Stanford University, number 6 prospect in AAA Memphis this year, 5-3 with a 3.13 ERA in his 19 starts. The walks can be an issue for Matthews, and that's going to be interesting for this Blue Jays hitter and how they approach him. He's got a 4-pitch mix with the four-seamer, curveball, slider, and the changeup is his best secondary pitch.
And a fair bit of experience at AAA, 19 starts this year, 22 starts last year. So a guy who by current standards has had a fair bit of experience at the upper minors. Fastball is in for a strike to Urias. One of the things you hear about with Matthews that Urias and Blue Jay hitters no doubt were told about in the hitters meeting is that low arm slot. And you see the patch there commemorating the fact that that jersey is being worn during his major league debuts. He quickly jumps out in front of 1-2.
That low arm slot that you referred to, it can almost be like a slinging the baseball. It's not that full arm swing that hitters get. A little different visual from the batter's box.
He did pitch 2 innings in a spring game last year against the Blue Jays. So 4 guys who were in the lineup today each had 1 at bat against him. Whether they would even remember that, a spring game from about 16-17 months ago, is another story. But everybody's got video on everybody, so they've seen what they feel they need to see heading into the game.
The four-seam fastball will have a little bit of ride, like staying up in the zone, also a little bit of cut, so it may cut into the right-handers just a bit as well.
The 2-2 into left field, dropping and down for a base hit, and almost bounced over Nootbaar. As people who watch games here know, sometimes when it's hot, that turf gets a little springy, and that one almost got by him.
Hitters will say, hit it how he pitched it. It's a changeup, and Urias is out front, but that's the contact ability that we're talking about that John Schneider refers to. That's why he pinch hit him in that game last night. He can control the zone, good contact ability. He stays with that changeup.
So now Guerrero, who went 1 for 4 with a double last night. He gets a first pitch slow curve and he fouls it off. Guerrero was one of the 4 members of this lineup who faced Matthews in that spring game in Dunedin last year, and Matthews struck him out. And that is a foul ball. And I think Jordan Baker, because he was having to get out of the way of the ball, I think he might have gotten a little bit of help from Rob Drake, the home plate umpire there, because self-defense might have been the first priority. And it was foul.
Fastball up and out over the plate. And that's why Jordan Baker is in foul territory. So if that ball hits you, there's a good chance it's going to be foul.
And Baker did make the call as well in fine time down there. There's a changeup, what looked like a changeup, but it's way down and away for ball 1.
Looked like a changeup. The way it came out of his hand just took off away.
You see Guerrero heating up a little bit in recent games. Pulls it to third. To second one, on to first, not in time. He is safely across on a fielder's choice. Remember, he's been managing a hamstring issue, cost him a game earlier this week, and is hopefully not feeling it right now.
Well, there's that changeup again we talked about from Matthews, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of it, getting these hitters out front just enough for Vladdy to roll that ball over to third.
So Guerrero reaches on a fielder's choice. He's at first with 1 out for Kazuma Okamoto, who doubled in a run last night, his 69th RBI on the season. That is tied for 4th in the American League. Got a chance to drive in 100 runs this year.
His home runs have been big ones too. He's not hitting them when the game's 9-1.
Good change there, and it's 0-2. You can see why that's such a big pitch for him.
Yep, especially against those righties. If you're a righty looking middle in, this is going to be a tough pitch to handle. You see Kaz leaking a bit early there with that front side.
0-2. Fastball high. A couple of years ago, Matthews was named the Baseball America Minor League Pitcher of the Year, not for the Cardinals organization, for all of baseball. And he is one of their top prospects, as Joe mentioned. And an awkward late kind of half swing there by Okamoto. 2 down. The first major league strikeout for Quinn Matthews.
And that's what a very good changeup will do, as they're going to authenticate that baseball for the left-hander. You get hitters thinking changeup, and that fastball was 96. It probably looked about 106.
2 down, and here's George Springer. That one almost got by Crooks, the catcher.
Well, it really handcuffed him, because coming from the left side looked like that changeup cut, and that's not the action you're expecting on that pitch.
In there, 1-1. It is thought that the Cardinals are going to trade Dustin May, one of their starters, who's a free agent at the end of the year, and that maybe Matthews just slides into his rotation spot. They're also in the midst of 20 games in 20 days, so adding a 6th starter, at least right now. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good hack from George right there. That was a changeup. It was more middle in at the bottom of the zone, and he took a mighty hack and just came up empty, but that's what you're looking to do against that pitch.
Guerrero the lead. And a ground ball hit foul up the third baseline.
It's those off-speed pitches that stay away. You're going to be in big trouble trying to pull them. That one a curveball. It's off the outside edge. Couple of soft ones in a row. See if he doesn't go back to that four-seamer with a cut to it. That's it.
Missed very high though, and it's 2-2. Well, we had heard 92 to 95, and we've seen a few 96s, and maybe he's amped up. It's his major league debut.
So, yeah. He might pitch 91 to 94, but he can get to 94, 96, and we're seeing it.
Now the 2-2. Down low, and it's full. And that's going to give Guerrero a running start from first. It looks like Burleson is going to stay on the bag, hold Guerrero on. There goes Guerrero, and it's a ground ball to third. Throw across the diamond is in time to get Springer and end the inning. No score at the end of one.
Well, it is not in dispute that Kevin Gausman has been one of the most impactful players to the Blue Jays' current competitive window. Since 2010, he leads all starters in whichever statistical category you want to look at. But where does Gausman rank among the franchise's all-time great starters? Well, as you'll see here, no lower than top 10, and in some cases, top 5. Gausman has a lower Blue Jays ERA than Pat Henkin, a lower whip than Dave Stieb, a better strikeout minus walk rate than Roy Halladay, and the 6th most wins wins above replacement of any starter in franchise history. Ultimately, this is a matter of personal perspective, but one way to think about it is in eras. If the 70s and 80s had Jim Clancy and Jimmy Key and Dave Steve, and the 90s had Hank Ginn and Juan Guzman, Roger Clemens, the early 2000s had Roy Halladay. Well, since 2010, no pitcher has made as big an impact on the Blue Jays organization as Kevin Gausman.
Arden, thank you. It has been a great 5 years, and I know Kevin Gausman would say that he has gotten as much from the city as he has given to the city. He would say he's gotten more.
Yes.
He has absolutely loved his time in Toronto, as Lars Nootbaar sends a fly ball pretty deep. But on the warning track, Varsho is there. But to sign a guy who's, I think Kevin was 30 when he signed, for 5 years, there has not been an IL stint. There's been one missed start here, one missed start there. And it's not just that he's been durable. He's been really good. He has fronted this rotation for much of the time that he has been here. He has taken the ball and sometimes gone out there without his best stuff and just kind of pieced it together and figured it out. Won a lot of big ball games. The first pitch swing and a fly ball to shallow right by Mason Wynn. And quickly 2 down. And again, then one of the other elements to it is what he has meant in the clubhouse. John Schneider talked about professional and great teammate and low maintenance, and just all the intangibles are there with Kevin Gausman as well.
You get when you give, and I think Kevin and his family have certainly given lots to this community, this city, this country, and they have felt all of the love back. And that's what's pretty special with the relationship that a player has with an organization when you commit to 5 years, because this 5-year deal, when he began it, he's coming off an all-star season in San Francisco. He had just become the Kevin Gausman that we got to see for 5 years here in a Blue Jays uniform, on pace again for 30-plus starts.
Way out in front of Nathan Church, 0-2. Splitter down and away, ball 1. Gausman said after his last start here, he would love to make another one here. Whether this is the end or not, we don't know, but he really wanted to get back on this mound one more time. Well, that's an incredible job by Church to get a piece of that one. And remember, after his last start here, he and his wife Taylor, we found out the next day, were out on the field just kind of sitting down the line, taking it all in. It's been 5 years, not just for him, for his entire family. Off the end of the bat, a little looper to shallow right center, and it drops in. So there have been 2 hits for the Cardinals, and they've both been just like that.
Well, that's a little bit of what we saw in his start against Boston. Kevin got a little frustrated with some of the soft contact, and that's when I said he turned to throwing his fastball a little bit more. But this is what you're going to get when you feature what he has. Those splitters down, you get a lot of awkward swings, whether hitters are thinking fastball, they get the splitter. Soft contact, and he's been a victim again.
A 2-out single, and here's the third baseman Blaze Jordan, who did not play last night, getting a start in hitting 8th today. 23 years of age, big AAA numbers, but as you can see from those numbers, has not been really able to build upon that so far in his brief big league career. Down the middle, 0-2.
Jordan is the only change to Ollie Marmol's lineup here for the Cardinals this afternoon at third base. He came over in that Steven Matz trade for the most part, making his 30th start in his first big league season.
Church the lead, not going, and it's fouled back by Jordan. Another big crowd, 41,000 expected here today. Oh, 2 again. Fouled off again. Really almost like season-long auditions for the Cardinals at a few spots. As we talked about last night, traded away some veteran players last year, let others leave via free agency. It's a very young roster, pointed in the right direction. Another 0-2, and it's down and away.
We hear Kevin through our microphone so often. That-a-boy Kirky or that-a-boy Valley, the way they stop those balls in the dirt. Pitchers, when they have the trust of their catchers, not afraid to bounce those secondary pitches in the dirt to try to get that chase.
And the other members of the rotation all congregating together and looking on. Now the 1-2. Fouled straight back. 96 up just above the bell, but Jordan got a piece of it.
Started this at bat with 3 straight fastballs, turned to a couple splitters, but it seems like he wants to get him out with that heater. Tried to go upstairs there, but Jordan gets just enough.
On the appeal, he went. He threw his first slider of the ball game, and he kind of fooled Jordan a little bit. Wasn't quite sure what to do with it. Couldn't check the swing, and it's the second strikeout of the afternoon for Kevin Gausman. The Blue Jays way. This one is all about 1993. Whamco, Ricky Henderson, and so on as the Blue Jays pursue their second straight World Series championship. Bottom 2, no score here. Dan Schulman, Joe Siddall, Arden Zwelling, and Alejandro Kirk leading it off. Did not play in last night's game. Matthews out front quickly, 0-2. Kirk didn't love it, but didn't challenge it. The major league leader in 2-strike timeouts, Alejandro Kirk.
It's almost a habit, isn't it? That's that slinging fastball from that low arm angle we were talking about earlier from Matthews. Catching the top of the zone.
So 3 fastballs in a row. Remember that changeup, a big pitch for him. We've already seen a couple of good ones back in the bottom of the first. Try to curveball.
Curveball's the slower of the 2 breaking balls, trying to get the chase from Kirk, but that one's spiked right out of his hand.
One of the interesting stories on Matthews is back when he was at Stanford and the Cardinal. Interesting, he was a Cardinal in college, and now he's a Cardinal in the majors as well. They were in, for those who don't know, what's called a super regional, trying to qualify for the College World Series. Big deal, obviously, in college baseball, and he was in a very important game for them in the super regional against Texas. Whoop, down and in, ball 4. And he threw a complete game with 16 strikeouts, and he threw 156 pitches in that game. And from the story I was told, every inning when he went back in, he didn't look at his, they call him head coach in college, didn't look at his head coach, walked to the far end of the dugout. If he sensed he was coming near him, he went down the stairs, he kept moving, he did not, he refused to be taken out of the game. And threw 156 pitches in that game. Right now, all of a sudden, he has thrown 5 consecutive balls and has lost the strike zone.
And he can do that. It's been a problem for his throughout his career. He's been a little bit better lately, but young pitcher in his major league debut. Try to allow him to dig himself a bit of a hole.
2-0.
That's quite disturbing, though, to think that he's threw over 150 pitches in a college game, and that's not the way it's supposed to be, because one would think it's the developmental years, but we know it's gotten so big. And you mentioned the stage that they're playing on. It's all about winning.
Goes away from the fastball, goes to a slider to get back in the zone. Well, Joe, a little out-of-town news today, and even on her off day, Hazel May is reporting. She has texted us to tell us that the Angels have scratched Jose Soriano from his start. That's a starting pitcher with a couple more years. So you're going to have to give a lot to get a guy like Jose Soriano as Varsho fouls it back. But another example, and the Mets and the Tigers, the other ones, where a team is kind of acknowledging they're going to trade a guy and they don't want to risk the injury. So according to reports, and Hazel, we thank her for the text, Jose Soriano has been scratched from his start with the Angels tonight.
One of the headliners on that list of starters.
A swing and a miss. Matthews comes back from a 2-0 count to strike out Varsho.
But not a very good slider this time from Matthews. It kind of backs up and stays up, and for a left-handed hitter, that can just really tie you up. Didn't break the way it was supposed to, but it worked.
One down, and here's Ernie Clement. Clement hitting .292 on the season. Hitting in the 7th spot today. He's been down in the order the last few days. That fastball's in. It's 1-1. There have been, since we were last on the air, a couple of trades. Dean Kramer, a starting pitcher, was traded from Baltimore to Minnesota. And the Yankees today traded reliever Camilo Doval to the Pirates for a couple of minor leaguers. That, of course, does not mean the Yankees are sellers, obviously. It just wasn't really working out for Doval in New York. They trade him to the Pirates, and undoubtedly the Yankees are going to go out and make a few deals, you would think. Stock up that bullpen, maybe get a catcher. They've had catching issues all season long. This is popped up wide of first. Burleson is there, 2 down.
Discover the magic of BetMGM Casino. Check out a wide variety of table games with a live dealer, roulette, blackjack, and more. Download the BetMGM Ontario app. Please gamble responsibly.
Bottom of the second here on this Saturday afternoon. No score between the Cardinals and the Blue Jays. And the batter now is Miles Straw, getting a start in right field with a lefty on the mound. And you may notice that Miles has an elbow guard on today. Did not have it yesterday and took a pitch right off the elbow. He's got a bit of a welt. He is feeling it. Saw him in the clubhouse briefly. He's fine to play, obviously, but a little extra padding today. Good curveball, 0-2.
That looks like more of the get over type breaking pitch, whereas the slider is more of a swing and miss pitch, trying to make it more of a put away.
With a fastball. Kirk the lead, 2 down. And again the changeup. It's been a very good pitch early. A lot of weak contact off Blue Jay bats with it. And this game is scoreless after 2.
Center. The fans have truly rolled out for Transformers Day today. The first 15,000 fans got their hands on one of these specialty Transformer Days hats, and all the fans in the building today will also get to stick around to watch the 1986 classic Transformers movie on the big screen. Now, before we get into the movie, we're here at the WestJet flight deck checking out all of the Transformers activations. There's a photo booth that can make you into a Transformer right now, and so much more. It's a part of many giveaways and an incredible giveaway season, I must add. We have the back-to-back replica statue coming up, and along with that, Hello Kitty Day. Make sure you head to BlueJays.com for all of the updated promotions coming your way. Now, fans, stick around for lots more Transformers action coming your way. Dan?
Maria, thank you. It seems like a fun one. And you know, there are like 12-year-olds here who love the Transformer, and there are people in their 40s who are talking about Transformers.
It'd be a full day at the ballpark.
It is, yeah.
Like a doubleheader.
A movie on the Jumbotron after the game. That's unique. No score, top three. Jimmy Crooks, the catcher and number 9 hitter for the Cardinals, looks at a fastball for a strike. Starting for the second game in a row, he went 0 for 3 last night. Just off the corner.
Kevin's MO today seems to be a lot of fastballs arm side away to the lefties and a lot of them in on the right-handers. And of course that splitter down.
Splitter down, bounced foul, 1-2.
Similar pitch, similar swings we're seeing both sides with Matthews and his changeup and Gausman with his splitter.
And the elevated fastball is fouled back. One of 3 catchers on the roster. One of the others, Ivan Herrera, DHing again today. Pedro Pajes is the other one. That's going to get into right field. Again, not hit hard, but kind of hooked it just enough to get it by Urias.
It can be frustrating for a pitcher when you feel like you're making pitches and you're getting soft contact off the ends of some bats like this one. Like Kevin right here, I found another hole. He knows it's part of it.
The 3 hits have been hit. The exit velocities are 74, 65, and 86. 95 and above is considered a quote hard hit ball. Boy, Weatherholt managed to check the swing on that one, so it's ball 1. So now these Cardinals starting to see Gausman the second time around. Okamoto's in at third. Guerrero holding on the runner at first. Ground ball to second. There's one. Clement on to first in time to turn it.
Well, this was tailor-made because the ball was hit to the right of Urias, so he's going to the baseball. But how about Clement getting rid of this baseball quickly, knowing the speed of Weatherholt, the leadoff hitter? Very nice turn.
Got him by a half step. 2 down, bases empty. Here's Jordan Walker, who struck out in the first. One for 4 with an RBI single last night. Just 7 for his last 41. Up the middle, past a diving Clement for a 2-out single.
Kevin left this fastball center cut, and he'll actually just take that off the bat of Walker. A base hit rolling into the outfield. Great effort by Clement, but just cannot get there. You're playing a right-hander like that to pull in the hole at short, so Ernie had a long way to go.
Walker's got a little bit of speed as well. He's got 14 steals. The batter is Alec Burleson, and he's got a base hit. Lines it into right center. Walker up to second.
Couple of center cut fastballs, and Kevin's going to have to locate that fastball a little bit better here moving forward.
Yeah, those last 2 hits on the ground, as you said, that's the good news for Gausman, but hit much harder than the earlier hits. Now 5 hits off Gausman through 2 2/3. The batter is Ivan Herrera. On the appeal, he went a slider, and again he started, then picked it up, couldn't check it.
A little different look with that slider. You had mentioned he struck out Blaze Jordan to finish the second inning. It was the first slider he had thrown, so not many sliders, but important ones.
Tried it again.
Those 2 pitches away, though, could set up the fastball if he throws that on the inner half, as he's been doing to righties now. No, Alejandro going back out there.
This one looks like it'll get out of play, and it will. How about 3 consecutive sliders, a pitch he doesn't throw very often?
It surprises me and it scares me a little bit because I wouldn't trust the third pitch as much in a critical situation here. Kevin's pitching very, very well. If I threw a third straight slider and gave up an RBI single, I'd be kicking myself. So hopefully that's all that we see of that pitch in this at bat anyway. Got him set up to throw that heater in, up and in.
Runners at first and second and 2 down. And the 1-2. Ground ball right side. Big hop for Urias, and Gausman gets out, number 3. Double the man left on, no score, going bottom third. The world's top tennis players begin play here on Sunday. Tune in to the National Bank Open presented by Rogers, only on Sportsnet. The women here in Toronto, the men in Montreal this year.
Look at those boats. What a day to be out on the water.
Yeah. And a pretty nice day to be at the ballpark as well. Bottom 3, no score. Davis Schneider leads it off, batting 9th, getting a start in left field.
Well, we've seen the challenge for these Blue Jays hitters early on. It's going to be the four-seam fastball up in the zone with all of the secondary pitches down. There's back-to-back heaters up, but he's mixing in those curveballs, changeups away. It's the soft stuff away, and he's done a great job at staying away from the middle of the plate.
He does not look like a guy making his major league debut.
No, he looks in total command.
Again, a college pitcher and then a guy with basically most of 2 full seasons at AAA, so by major league debut standards, he's obviously pretty experienced and pretty polished. In the dirt, 2-2. Curveball that Schneider gets a piece of. By the way, remember we talked about Jose Soriano. One little side note. The Angels actually put out a statement about it. John Mozeliak put out a statement saying with the trade deadline Monday and the uncertainty of the next 48 hours, we decided to take a prudent approach and see where the next few days lead us. Very interesting. Outside, full count.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily require an explanation, but
right.
As a club that you're anticipating they're selling, because Soriano's name was up there with some of the starters, like you mentioned, Peralta and Casey Mize was taken out. Tarek Skubal leads that list.
They've got Reed Detmers as well, another guy that teams may like. If the Angels decide to tear it down again, they could trade Zach Neto. A lot of teams would be interested in Zach Neto. It's kind of getting going slowly, but it's going to pick up, obviously, and I'm sure Monday during the day is going to be nuts.
That's what a deadline's for, right?
Yeah, that's right. And nice job by Schneider to draw the walk.
Stream every pitch on Canada's best and most reliable 5G Plus network. Visit Rogers.com today to get connected.
No score, bottom 3, a leadoff walk for Schneider, and back to the top of the order for Luis Urias, who had a base hit in the first. In the dirt, and a nice block by Crooks.
I'm not so sure you can look fastball against Matthews. We've been one time through the lineup now, and I'm looking, if I'm a right-handed hitter, a lot of the fastballs are up. They're up at the top of the zone and even above it, not necessarily for strikes all the time. If you sit soft away, you can just get up on that plate and think the other way. There's the fastball that came in a little bit more.
Whether it's the changeup or the curveball.
Right, backdoor breaking ball, backdoor slider, changeup. And again, he's done a nice job at staying away from the middle of the plate, but eventually maybe it creeps toward the middle and you can be on, but you've got to be looking for that secondary pitch. Otherwise, they're going to continue to be out front trying to hit that fastball.
Davis Schneider were having a real stare down for a while before that last pitch. Mark Budzinski with a little bit of info for Schneider. 2-1 the count on Arias. Much quicker to the plate there, but it's ball 3. And if there has been an issue today for Matthews, it's been the command kind of coming and going a little bit. He's walked 2 already, and now he's behind 3-1 on Arias.
This is where that discipline at the plate has to really pay off. You want to make him middle here. Can't be chasing his pitch on the edges.
Well, good ball to swing at, but he fouled it back. 3-2.
Hitters will call those cookies sometimes when the breaking pitches stay in the middle.
Well, do they trust Arias to put it in play here? Do they start Schneider?
You really got to make sure he goes home, though, against the left-hander, as opposed to going first move.
Not going, and it's lined to right field, carrying to Walker, and almost got by him. But he's 6'5", and he reached up and he made the catch.
Good swing by Urias, and that's a very good at-bat overall. See, he's not trying to pull the baseball, covering that outside part of the plate. This was a fastball, but still out there where most of his pitches seem to be against these right-handed hitters.
That's the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd. It'll bring up Guerrero, who reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st. Again, a big hole on the right side. Second baseman playing up the middle. First baseman holding on Schneider. And Guerrero hits it through the right side for a base hit. Schneider up to second.
Elevated fastball. If Vladdy's looking for the fastball, he's just trying to keep that flat path at the top of the zone. He does it very well on this pitch. That's where a lot of his fastballs seem to be, right at the top. Drills it into right.
The first time the Blue Jays have gotten a runner into scoring position here today. First and second one out for Okamoto, who just got under it. Man, did he go after that curveball, but he was underneath it, and it's caught out and left for the second out.
This was a very good swing by Okamoto, and the reason he just missed it, it's because it's the slower breaking ball. It's the curveball, and he's just out front a little bit, but he may have gone up there looking for a breaker, got one, but it was the one of the slower variety.
Two down, and here's Springer, who grounded out in his first at bat. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. One thing that George Springer has done very well the last, say, 6 weeks as he has heated up, he has not chased very much at all. He is about as disciplined a hitter as they have on this team. And that's okay. That's a pitcher's pitch. It's 2-0.
You got it.
Don't roll over and ground out. Live to see another pitch.
Not his pitch at all. If I'm thinking the way George is probably thinking, if we know him, he's looking for something middle in.
That's a changeup right on the edge.
Yes, so. Haven't seen a lot of those pitches.
It's sharply and off the glove of Wynn and into left field, and Schneider will come in to score. Guerrero is into third safely. Springer's at second, and it's 1-0.
Good aggressive approach from George. It's a slider up and out over the plate. He pulls this baseball, but he hits it very hard right past a very good defender in Mason Wynn. Maybe a little funky hop there, that last one right before it got to the glove of Wynn.
108 off the bat, so the good take got him to a better pitch, and he hit it hard, and he drives in a run. And Guerrero comes around to third. Springer gets to second as the throw comes to third. And now a wild miss for ball one to Alejandro Kirk. And can Kirk be disciplined, wait for a good one, a base hit, here's a couple of runs.
Oh. And just like Vladdy went the other way, we've seen him do that as well. Kirk can do that with anyone because of that flat bat path. Lets that ball get deep.
Outside, 2-0.
May not get much here with Varsho's left-handed bat on deck.
Kind of surprised at this point, actually, they don't just send him down there.
2-0, I thought they just put him on.
3-0. I think if he likes it, he's got the green light here.
I'd give him the green light because if they're pitching to him, I don't think they are, but if they do.
Takes the strike, 3-1.
A little too far out there. But if they're trying to do that and he misses middle, you want Alejandro taking a hack at that.
Guerrero at third, Springer at second. And the 3-1 to Kirk. Outside, ball 4. That's going to load him up. If you're the Cardinals, you're probably saying you could live with it. Now you get a lefty-lefty matchup with Varsho, who struck out in the second. Varsho, again, as we've talked about, has done fairly well against lefties. The batting average is almost identical, righties and lefties. And now Matthews is going to get a visit, not from his pitching coach, but from the entire infield. That pitch count has really climbed on him. He's walked 3. He's thrown 66 pitches through 2 2/3. Major league debut. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Varsho. A little bit high, ball 1.
That's a great take for Dalton too, because you've got a pitcher on the ropes here a little bit. You got to think the pressure is on the guy on the mound right now, and he lays off that tough pitch at the top of the zone. That's tough to lay off. We've seen Dalton go after those.
In there, it's even at 1-1. A swing and a miss through a fastball, 1-2. Varsho will use his timeout. Matthews sets, and the 1-2 pitch. Varsho stays alive.
That's just staying in there as long as possible. It's the slider away right out there in the corner is a perfect pitch by Matthews, and Varsho just gets a piece to give himself another shot.
1-2 again. Reaches for this one, and he's popped it up in foul territory. Crooks will make the catch, and that will end the inning. But the Blue Jays have the first run of the ball game, driven in by George Springer. Pumped up. 1-0 Jays through 3.
Move to the windup, as you're seeing here without runners on base, was to improve his fastball metrics. Those dipped earlier this season, but they bounced back in July after he made that tweak. It's showing up in pitch models such as Stuff and Location Plus. As you'll see here, you can find these on Fangraphs. Now, these are models that pull in a bunch of raw pitch characteristic data, so you can think about things like velocity. That was up slightly for Gausman in July. And then there's spin rate, which was the highest it's been in years last month for Gausman. That helped his fastball fight gravity, stay up in the zone where it plays most effectively really off his splitter down. There's also the extension of his release point down the mound, so how close to the plate he releases the ball. Gausman increased that thanks to the delivery tweaks. That gives hitters just a little less time to make a swing decision. And although the models do not care about results, the hitter feedback was positive. The average exit velo against Gausman's fastball in July was the lowest in any month of his career.
Interesting. He's up 1-0 going top four. Thank you, Arden. Lars Nootbaar, the batter, and those are among the things not only that matter to the Blue Jays, but matter to any other teams who may be interested in trading for Kevin Gausman. It's not just ERA. It's certainly not wins and losses. It's the stuff, as they say, under the hood. How does the stuff look? Has there been some good or bad batted ball luck? How hard are they hitting it? Is he locating, et cetera, et cetera? And he's a better pitcher than the 4.51 ERA coming into the game today would suggest. And if indeed he is to be traded, maybe he's not a number one where he would go, but boy, any team would plug him into a playoff rotation.
And I think this goes all the way back to when he was really, he admittedly does not hold runners very well. And because of that, he's tried to tweak some things. He tried a little quick pitch. He tried to speed up the delivery, hurry up that stride. But in doing so, he felt that he was getting down the hill a little bit too quickly. So then in turn, you're trying to alter things, and that's where I think he eventually came to this windup. From this windup, if you're more balanced over the rubber, and you're more in sync, you're going to be more efficient in your delivery. And I'm guessing that's why a lot of the metrics have increased and looked good.
He threw a good splitter there, and Nootbaar deserves credit for getting a piece of it.
Think of rushing your delivery and your arm trailing. You're not going to have the same command, but when you're on time and you get that pitch out there right out front, that's where you get the good action, and he's been very consistent today.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Schneider will cut it off. Nootbaar is aboard to begin the fourth.
Another fastball from Gausman. This one not in the middle of the plate. It's off that outside edge, but Nootbaar does a great job getting to that pitch and hitting it hard into left.
So the Cardinals have 6 hits now. They've all been singles. There's been 1 double play ball. They've stranded 4. And here's Mason Wynn, who hit a fly ball to right in his first at bat. He shows bunt and takes it high, ball 1. It's got Okamoto's attention at third. Everybody's looking at Pop Warner, the third base coach for the Cardinals, to see if they can pick apart the signs a little bit. Pop Warner, the third base coach, and there's Windsor, Ontario, Stubby Clapp, the first base coach, and a proud member of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Was in the Blue Jays system as a coach, has been with the Cardinals forever, has played for Canada at the Pan Am Games, at the Olympics, and the World Baseball Classic, and now the home plate umpire Rob Drake is saying, I think he's saying, what is he saying?
Foul tip.
Foul tip. I thought the way that he pointed,
tip.
he was saying it hit him, but evidently not.
He's
Ollie
calling
Marmol's,
foul tip.
yeah, but the initial signal kind of confused everybody, I think.
I think initially they thought they were asking for a check swing, appeal down to first base, but it clipped the bottom, the knob of the bat.
So that is a foul ball. That point there is what confused me. Almost like it hit him go down to first. No, there's the foul ball.
Delayed call, but I think he got it right. Well, Stubby Clapp is a member of the Windsor, Ontario Proud Group for sure. We are from the same town, from the same city. Stubby, of course, a little younger than I am, so we didn't play baseball growing up together.
Swing and a miss to get a win. But if you're a Baseball Canada fan, you are very well acquainted with Stubby Clapp.
Absolutely. Very big part of that organization for so many years, and now on the coaching side.
Third strikeout of the ball game for Gausman. Nootbaar, the runner at first, 1 down, and here's Nathan Church, who's had a good series. He's 3 for 5 so far. Made a very nice defensive play last night. He's popped it up. Clement back into shallow left to make the catch. 2 down.
Well, the splitter has certainly given Cardinals hitters this afternoon fits, and I think Kevin's going to have to do that when He is pressed to deliver in a key situation here. A couple of fastballs been hit harder more recently, but he's got guys off balance with that splitter.
2 down, and now Blaze Jordan. And a pretty long at bat with Gausman, but Gausman eventually struck him out back in the second. Nootbaar the lead over at first, being held by Guerrero, and a 1-0 count on Jordan. Down the right field line, Straw coming over, but it's out of play. Blaze Jordan is one of 2 Blazes in Major League history, and they're both playing now. There's also Blaze Alexander, who the Blue Jays saw earlier on the Orioles.
Third round pick of the Red Sox. That was a deadline deal last year for Steven Matz. Left-handed pitcher. Went the other way.
This is lined into center, a base hit. Nootbaar will stop at second. The Cardinals starting to make some better contact off Gausman here in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, another fastball from Kevin, and it's more middle end. Didn't quite get it in far enough. Four-seam fastball. You see Kirk wants it inside. He's been pitching somewhat effectively to these righties inside, but that one didn't get in enough, and when it doesn't, it's in a good spot to get to.
First and second with 2 outs for the number 9 hitter Jimmy Crooks, who had a base hit his first time up. Splitter taken just low for ball 1.
Crooks hit a splitter, but that was a little blooper that he hit into right field, so I still think that's where you want to get him out. Don't want to get beat with a fastball.
Swing and a miss at a split, 1-1.
Crooks in his limited time has hit spin much better than the fastballs, but I think if you use your fastball here for Kevin, based on what we've seen today from his fastball, it's more of a show pitch. Go maybe up in the zone, see if you can't get a swing, but then go back down to the splitter.
Swung on and missed again, 1-2.
May not waste any time, might just keep throwing it.
Back of the runner at second, 2 on, 2 out. And the 1-2 pitch. Got him. And fired up as he comes off the mound, stranding a couple of runners again here in the 4th inning. Quite possibly his last start as a Blue Jay. And Kevin Gausman has 4 scoreless innings in the book so far here this afternoon.
From behind the plate to the dugout to the broadcast booth, Buck Martinez has been creating Blue Jays memories for decades. On August 29th, he one of the first 15,000 fans through the gates to collect a Buck Martinez legacy bobblehead featuring his 3 iconic roles. Arrive early for the pregame ceremony as the Blue Jays Hall of Excellence is officially opened and honor Buck. Tickets are available at bluejays.com/promotions.
Maria, thank you. Just like today, I'm sure is very emotional for a lot of Blue Jay fans with Kevin Gausman on the mound. August 29th is going to be very emotional as well when Buck Martinez comes back to Rogers Center and is inducted into the Hall of Excellence. Can't wait.
Should be a fun weekend and great for everyone, for all of us, to get to see Buck again.
1-0 Blue Jays bottom 4. Ernie Clement leading it off. Line drive, base hit into center.
Ernie just needed to get a changeup that he could reach. This one was below the zone, but at least it wasn't too far away from him. Gets down and gets it.
Leadoff man aboard, and here's Miles Straw. Hit a fly ball to center his first time up. Takes a fastball down the middle for a strike. I was wondering maybe if he might square, try to get a bunt down. Maybe if he was in the 9 hole, not the 8 hole, he would.
Do you move a runner over to have your number 9 hitter come up? And, you know, I was thinking maybe a hit and runner, get some action going here, but a first pitch strike by Matthews nullifies that.
And now quickly 0-2. David Hopkins looking on from the third base dugout. Matthews trying to make sure he can hear pitch count and know what pitch his catcher's asking for. And the foul off.
Like Miles maybe trying to shoot that hole over on the right side. A little more defensive with 2 strikes. Manipulate your hands a little bit. Second baseman playing toward the second base bag. Big hole over there with the first baseman holding the runner on.
You're okay with the mindset, the game
Absolutely.
plan, right?
Oh yeah, especially with 2 strikes.
Takes it low.
When you think the other way as a hitter, you tend to see the ball a little bit longer, and the longer you can see the ball, perhaps the better decisions you can make. And that's why some hitters, when they get into slumps, they'll kind of go back to that 2-strike approach of thinking the other way. Just put your body in a better position.
Hits it pretty well to right center field. Oh, and it's in and out of the glove of Church. Clement is now on his way to third. Straws at second. Clement for a moment was not sure if the ball was caught or not, but it all turns out okay as Clement is at third, Straws at second, and the Blue Jays have something cooking.
Well, it's an outstanding piece of hitting with 2 strikes, an excellent approach by Miles Straw, and he hit this ball very hard into that gap. I think Ernie gets blocked off by the outfielder himself. We can see the ball come out of his glove, but I don't think Ernie can see the baseball. The bodies are in his way. He thinks the ball is in his glove and that he caught it. Miles almost overran him saying, go, go. But Miles had a different angle. He could see the ball loose just like we could.
Because if the ball was caught, Ernie had to get back to first. So he was panicking. Oh, man, I got to get back. And unfortunately, Straw didn't run past him. And all things considered, it turns out fine. Second and third, nobody out. Davis Schneider, infield in.
It's similar to a runner being on first base and a ball gets in the dirt, catcher blocks it, and it goes way off to his left. You can get to second easily, but as a runner on first, the angle you have, you can't quite tell the perception there, and the catcher can be in your way.
Schneider walked and scored in the third. Hits it hard down the left field line, but it's foul.
Well, it's an outstanding effort by Nathan Church in center field, a very fine defender, and he was going, he's calling it, he did everything right and had it, but it just went in and out of the webbing of his glove. Ernie's in panic mode right here. Not a good feeling for a base runner, but it all ended okay. He didn't see it.
Now 1-2 on Schneider. At the very least, hoping to hit a fly ball, get a run home here.
If he can get to an elevated fastball like that, he can drive it deep enough to the outfield, but he's got to get to it.
And a swing and a miss at a curveball to get him for out number 1.
Threw him a little wrinkle after the elevated fastball, went to the slower breaking ball, the bigger break. Really good pitch to hit when you leave a curveball there, but Davis just went right through it.
Infield remains in. Top of the order, Luis Urias, who has singled and lined out. More of a contact hitter here. And he hits it in the air to center. It is plenty deep enough to get a run home. Both runners will tag. Clement coming to the plate. Straw into third. Sac fly makes it 2-0.
Some great plate appearances from Luis Urias in the last 24 hours. He had the big one last night in the pitch hit variety. This one, it's a changeup away, but this is what we're talking about. Don't try to pull this pitch. He stays on it. He stays through it. He lined hard to right field last at bat, but this is what allows him to stay in the middle of the field, hit this ball well enough to cash in the run.
Clement, an interesting trip around the bases. 2-0 Blue Jays, and here's Guerrero. Fly ball to left field, down the line, not deep, and caught by Nootbaar for out number 3. End of 4, and it's now 2-0. Cool thing he did was come out of the bullpen in the 7th inning of Game 7 of the American League Championship Series. He walked 3 in the inning, one of them intentional, but did not give up a run. And him coming in and then him getting out of that brought tremendous energy back into the ballpark. And whether it was coincidence or not, the bottom half of that inning is when George Springer hit the 3-run homer. This is after the Blue Jays won the series to advance to the World Series. You can see the welling of tears in the eyes of Kevin Gausman. Whatever's been needed, whatever it takes. And John Schneider did not minimize the energy that Gausman running in from the bullpen to get on the mound in Game 7 of the ALCS may have meant to everybody on the team.
It is October baseball at its finest, and those were some emotional moments. The feeling in this building when you see a starting pitcher come out of the bullpen, you just know it's just all hands on deck in October. A lot of fun, and of course the welling up of the eyes right there speaks volumes to what that meant to Kevin, what that meant to this team as they advanced.
And if you look at his playoff starts last year, he made 5 starts in the postseason for the Blue Jays last year. Game 1 of the ALDS allowed a run in 5 2/3, got the win. Then after that, the Blue Jays just didn't hit when he was on the mound. And some of that is the pitchers on the other teams that they were facing.
Some good ones.
Yeah. 2 runs in 5 2/3 in Game 1 of the ALCS. This is shot down the left field line, but foul. 1 run in 5 2/3 in Game 5 of the ALCS, but again they didn't win because they didn't hit. And then he started twice against the Dodgers. One was 6 2/3, 3 runs. One was 6 innings, 3 runs. So all of them, you know, from I mean the quote unquote air quotes worst one was 6 innings, 3 runs, and that was the Dodgers. He posted every time. He gave them a chance to win every single game that he pitched in.
He left it all out there. When you hand Kevin Gausman the ball, you have to feel pretty good, and I think John Schneider has used the word trust a million times. We trust Kevin, and I think that's been a thing for 5 seasons now in a Blue Jays uniform.
That is taken low. It's a leadoff walk for Weatherholt. That's the first walk given up by Gausman today. And Weatherholt's got some speed. He is a perfect 12 for 12 on the season.
This is a combination that you could see them challenging. Kevin not the best at holding runners, and if Alejandro's not given a chance, it's tough on any catcher.
The batter Jordan Walker, a strikeout and a base hit. Slider down and away. Not going. 2-0.
This is where you don't want to alter that delivery too much because you want to make sure you're making a quality pitch, but you also don't want to give up a free 90 feet. This is the challenge when it is a challenge for you, and Kevin admittedly has said holding runners.
In there, 2-1. So far, Weatherholt has not looked, has not given any indication of running. Maybe at 2-0, they were just saying, hey, let's see what Walker can do with the count in his favor. Still 2-1 now. Not going. And that's there, 2-2.
Perfectly executed with that fastball out on the outside edge. Kirk wanted it out there. He put it there.
Runner goes. It's ball 3. The throw down on a bounce. They still get him. Urias applies the tag, and Weatherholt is called out at second and is jogging off the field. The Cardinals have 15 seconds to challenge, but Weatherholt's kind of telling you he knows he was out, and there will be no challenge.
Alejandro Kirk got rid of this baseball quickly. It's a big leg kick. Weatherholt takes the peek in, but it looked as though did he slow up a hair?
It looked like he did. I wonder if he maybe had the count wrong and thought it was ball 4 or something like that. It was only ball 3, but it did look like he slowed down. And now Walker has popped it up. Urias the catch, and just like that, 2 down. So here's another way of looking at Kevin Gausman and his time as a Blue Jay. Wins above replacement. Roy Halladay and Dave Stieb, no matter how you slice it, they are way out in front of everybody else. Guys who spent years and years and were so good. Jimmy Key, I think, an underrated Blue Jay. One of the best Blue Jay starting pitchers. Jim Clancy was here forever in the early-ish years of the franchise, but whenever you look at Kevin Gausman, whatever the numbers are, he might be 4th or 5th or 7th. There's like, he's been important.
Right up there.
0-2 on Burleson.
Starting pitching costs a lot of money. Quality starting pitching costs a lot of money. Kevin Gausman's been worth every dollar.
In front of Burleson, 0-2. Burleson's got a couple of hits already, a couple of singles. The 1-2. Reaches for it, hits it weakly up the first baseline, and a little toe tap from Guerrero for out number 3. 5 good innings for Gausman here today. The Blue Jays lead 2-0, and it's time for an update with Jamie Campbell.
The first 15,000 fans for the Gates receive a back-to-back replica statue giveaway. The monument honors 92 and 93 teams who brought consecutive World Series trophies back to Toronto. Visit BlueJays.com/promotions to get your tickets today.
Seems like a popular spot to have a picture taken as well. Everybody's got their phones out around the back-to-back World Series championship trophy. Joe Carter. 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom 5, and it'll be Kaz Okamoto, George Springer, and Alejandro Kirk against lefty Quinn Matthews, making his major league debut. Oh, 0-2.
Breaking ball from the left-hander coming into Okamoto, and he just missed a curveball his last time up. That's the difference when you're facing a lefty. That breaking ball coming into you instead of away from a righty.
And does a good job not to chase that changeup down. Ball 1. Had to reach for this one and fouls it back out of play. Max Scherzer is scheduled to be the starter tomorrow for the Blue Jays. Popped up. Burleson over, but it's in the dugout. And again, who knows what might happen between tonight and tomorrow. Could be nothing. The trade deadline is at 6 p.m. Eastern Monday, so even after the conclusion of play tomorrow, there's still more than 24 hours until the trade deadline, and a lot can happen in 24 hours.
Most of it probably.
Yep. But nobody knows. Well, maybe some people know for sure, but none of us know for sure what direction the front office will take. And it could be dependent on the results over the next couple of days. Again, you can see Okamoto kind of reaching for the pitches away from him as he flies out to right.
Same thing, that slower curveball. He's got a nice selection of pitches, a good firm fastball, mostly at the top of the zone, the harder slider. The changeup his best pitch probably, but you see it way out front there of that slower curveball, and the ball's away from him. It makes it even more difficult.
Now George Springer, who singled in a run his last time up, he's 1 for 2 on the day. Activity in the Cardinals pen. Right-hander Luis Gastelum was one of 4 relievers who were down last night after pitching 2 days in a row, but Ollie Marmol should have everybody he wants out there today. Got in on him, grounded to third, and Jordan throws him out, 2 down. .94 pitches now for Matthews, so getting near the end. He'll face Alejandro Kirk for the 3rd time, and he's walked Kirk twice. Starts him with a strike. Gausman, by the way, is at 80 pitches through 5. Nice stop by Wynn. A bit of a wide throw, but a good play made by Burleson. They get Kirk, and the Blue Jays are set down in order in the bottom of the 5th. So many things have made Kevin Gausman so popular amongst Blue Jay fans, but I think one of the things that the fan base really loves is that he and his wife Taylor and their daughters have gotten to know the city. They have embraced this city. They've gone to the zoo. They've gone to see a Leaf game. They've gone to see a Raptor game. They've gone to the museums and the Taylor Swift concert. And they have been very open about how much they have felt welcomed and how much they love Toronto. And all of us Canadians know that Canadians love when especially a prominent person from the United States come here and says, you know what, I love it here. And Kevin Gausman has been saying that for 5 years. And just my opinion, I believe that's a pretty big part of the reason why he is even more beloved than just for what he's done on the mound.
Yes, pretty special human being, a family man, as we see in those pictures with his wife and girls, and they have really embraced this city and this country.
Ivan Herrera will lead it off. You know, and beyond what happens in the next 48 hours, then the next thing for Kevin Gausman, whether he stays here or not, would be what does he do in the offseason? Because he's going to be a free agent one way or another. Yep. And he has said, not often, but he said a couple of times, you know, I have to decide how much longer I want to do this. He's a big family man. He's 35 years old. And whether he's traded or not, he could re-sign here if he wanted to. I suppose there's even a world where they could keep him and make him the qualifying offer and see if he would accept a one-year deal. But point being, there's a lot of unknown, and who knows what the next few months will bring. There's a strike, 3-1.
I don't think there's many Blue Jays fans that wouldn't take Kevin Gausman back on a one-year deal, even at his age. He certainly had some blips this season. A tough June and July, but he rebounded last start against the Red Sox, and certainly rebounding here today against the Cardinals.
A check swing foul off. Herrera just trying to get out of the way of that one, and it's 3-2. No activity in the Blue Jay bullpen so far here today. He's at 85 pitches. As this one is hit hard into left center field. A long run for Schneider, and he's going to have to chase it all the way to the wall. And Herrera has a double to lead off the 6th.
Fastball up in the zone, and he is all over this pitch. There's that four-seamer. Good swing by Herrera from a very good hitter. He squared that one out.
That is the first extra base hit of the ball game for the Cardinals. And Pete Walker's on the phone. So they are going to get somebody up in the bullpen. The batter is Lars Nootbaar, who is 1 for 2. Had a base hit his last time up. Braden Fisher got the call. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
It's been his best pitch today for sure. Kevin's had a good feel for that splitter.
And a better job there by Nootbaar. Looked like he picked that one up a little bit earlier, didn't offer at it. Tapped out in front of the plate, fair ball, and the throw to first to get Nootbaar. Herrera read it well / was very aggressive going to third right there. Kirk took a peek but takes the out at first.
Yeah, very aggressive base running by Herrera at second base. This ball just cues it. Actually hit behind the plate but rolled out into fair territory, so Kirk gets the out. But this is aggressive. When you're down a couple of runs, he just took off right away, and he had to do that to get third base.
And that base running will bring the infield in for the Blue Jays. Mason Wynn gets one in the air to right center. This will split the outfielders and get to the wall. Wynn is into second with a double that cashes in Herrera, and it's 2-1. So a couple of hard hit balls for doubles off Gausman here in the 6th inning. Braden Fisher is up in the pen. John Schneider looking on, considering his options.
Mason Wynn didn't wait around either. Got a first pitch fastball and teed off on it. He struck out on the splitter last time up. He wanted to hit the heater.
The batter is Nathan Church, the center fielder. Swings through a fastball, 0-1. Takes it low. Okamoto was in at third. The rest of the infield is backed up. The tying run out at second. Ground ball to second. Urias up with it. And on to first for the out. 2 down as Wynn comes to third. And here comes Schneider, and is this going to be it? There's the call. That is going to be it for Kevin Gausman. He will go 5 2/3, and the ovation is beginning, and undoubtedly is going to get louder and louder in appreciation not only of what he's done today, obviously, but what he's done for this team for the last 5 years, as Kevin Gausman quite possibly walks off this mound for the final time. Pro, the official dry eye reliever of the Toronto Blue Jays. A warm, emotional moment for Kevin Gausman. Here is Braden Fisher.
You can certainly feel that Kevin Gausman felt it. Really took a few extra seconds to acknowledge the crowd. Braden Fisher has not pitched since Sunday at Fenway Park.
Tying runs at third with 2 outs, and the first pitch is popped up and back out of play. Not surprising at all, but a very nice touch by Gausman to acknowledge the crowd on his way off the field.
A little different than his last start here, where it didn't go as well. This one, he's got his team here with a lead and hoping to lead them to a victory here this afternoon.
Oh, 1. Chased it. 0-2. Jordan a strikeout and a base hit so far today. Down low for ball 1.
That's the right idea after that swing we saw from Jordan. Clearly not picking up that slider very well. So Braden trying to bury another one, and he trusts his catcher to block it back there.
The tying run is at third with 2 outs in the 6th. Popped up again, back of the plate again. Kirk back for a look, and again out of play.
Jordan will chase, and I think with Fisher's slider, you can just throw a couple more down there like that, and you'll eventually get him to fish.
No pun intended.
Literally.
Yeah. Or maybe that pun was intended. Again, the 1-2. 2-2.
I think Braden knows exactly what he wants to do with that slider. He just has to execute his pitch. This isn't a case for me by throwing too many sliders in a row. I'm all for this. Throw your best one.
Pretty good one right there, but off the corner. And again, Jordan would not chase it. It's now 3-2.
Good take.
Now there's a ball on the field out in right, so time is called. And Miles Straw's got to go get it. Two-1 Blue Jays here in the top of the 6th inning. And the 3-2. A broken bat, ground ball to third. Okamoto dodges the bat, gets the ball, and makes the play. And the Blue Jays still have the lead, 5 2/3, 1 run allowed, and now the hugs just keep on coming in the third base dugout for one of the best Blue Jay pitchers in a long, long time. And Gausman very appreciative for the ovation he got today.
Abram not only steps away from the field, but I am in prime view of the 8,000 square foot video board where people will be taking in the 1986 classic movie of the Transformers after the game today. Now, I just found out this is a 40 years old movie this month. Now, Dan, I gotta say, I wasn't around in 1986 to watch the original film, but I am excited to watch it post game today. But I have to ask, who is your favorite Transformers? Mine is Bumblebee.
I wasn't around in 86 either, Dan. Who was your favorite?
My kids were just doing all kinds of things, and I don't remember a lot of Transformers, but I know it's popular. All you have to do is look around the ballpark and see today how popular it is. As Dalton Varsho is going to try to bunt for a base hit, and he'll succeed easily.
This used to be a tool in his toolkit in the past against left-handed pitchers. And did he ever lay down a beauty? As a left-handed hitter, you bring it with you, and then you try to beat the pitcher or first baseman. He sure did.
And that's going to be the last pitch thrown by Quinn Matthews here in his major league debut. Acquitted himself well. Ollie Marmol going to the pen. coming your way. It'll be from Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Yankees with Max Fried on the mound, David Peterson for the Cubs, and you see that game at 7 o'clock Eastern time here on Sportsnet. More hugs for Kevin Gausman. Again, nobody knows for sure. Was that his last appearance as a Blue Jay? We will know about 49 hours from now. A big bear hug from George Springer. This is year 5 for Gausman, year 6 for Springer. So those two guys have been a huge part of this team. Not only the success, but the culture of this team for the last 5 years. As right-hander Luis Gastelum is into the game now for the Cardinals.
Gastelum was a non-roster invitee to the Cardinals spring training this spring. Also pitched for Team Mexico in the WBC. Just 10 games so far in the Cardinals uniform.
1-1 the count on Ernie Clement with Dalton Varsho at first after a very well executed bunt single. The Blue Jays up by 1 here, bottom 6. Taken just low, ball 2. After every pitch, Clement looking down to Carlos Fablis. And again taken low, 3-1. A couple of very close takes for a guy who likes to swing the bat.
Either picking it up very well or saying, I'm going to be a little bit more disciplined.
Fouled it back. Three and 2. Will Varsho be running here? Clement obviously a very good contact hitter. He is not running, and it's hit weakly out to second. The flip for 1, and that's all as they force the lead runner. Ernie a little frustrated aboard on a fielder's choice. And Gastelum now will face Miles Straw. Straw's 1 for 2, had a double his last time up.
Another guy that uses a changeup a lot, and he had Ernie out front on that one. You got a mid-90s fastball and a good changeup. You'll get a lot of weak contact.
Runner going, and it's lined to third. No, grounded to third. Excuse me, grounded to third, and now going to third is Clement. So he was on the move to second, a chopper to third. Jordan throws across the infield, and Clement takes an extra 90 feet.
Ernie going on the pitch, so he sees this chopper to third, and he knows that if he throws that across, he barely broke stride around that second base bag. Continued on, and that's a big 90 feet because you just never know. Many more ways to score from third.
And now Nathan Lucas is coming up to pinch hit for Davis Schneider. Lucas started the game last night, led off, went 0 for 2 with a walk. Two runs on 6 hits for the Blue Jays, 1 run on 9 hits for the Cardinals. Lucas looking for a clutch 2-out base hit here to drive home another run as he takes strike 1. This kind of a situation, a guy like Lucas would probably have been told an inning or 2 ago, hey, when a righty comes in from the pen, you're going to hit, or you might hit for Davis Schneider. So he goes back underneath, gets his swings in. They tell him who's up in the bullpen. He can look at that guy on trajectory, so he's got some idea of what he's going to see here. The ball a little bit up, and he's popped it up for Jordan at third. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning as Clement is stranded at third, and it remains 2-1. Well, the big 50-50 jackpot from Jays Care is approaching $1.7 million. I think that we can get this over $2 million by tomorrow. The deadline is tomorrow. Get your tickets at bluejays.com/5050 from participating provinces. Miles Straw has moved from right to left for the Blue Jays. Nathan Lucas remains in the game in right. Braden Fisher's back on the mound. And the top of the 7th is underway with Jimmy Crooks looking at a strike over the outside corner. Crooks has a base hit and a strikeout today. Curveball down and in. Crooks the number 9 hitter, so right after this it's back around to the top. J.J. Weatherholt and Jordan Walker. A low scoring affair last night. The Blue Jays winning 3-1, and a low scoring affair today. Well, he fixed that curveball on the next time in there, and it's 1-2 with Mason Fluharty now up in the pen. Fluharty got up last night but didn't pitch. Curveball again, 2-2. And a check swing, 3-2. Back. The Blue Jays began play today 4.5 out of the final wild card spot, which is now shared by the Guardians and the Twins. The Rangers a half game back, Baltimore 1.5, Seattle 3, Detroit 3.5, and then the Blue Jays 4.5. A lot of teams. Got him. A strikeout of Crooks for out number 1. So if the Blue Jays are to have any chance here, they got to play very well and pass a whole lot of teams. Minnesota is already playing today, and they are trailing Seattle 3-0 in the top of the 3rd. The Guardians play later tonight against Arizona.
It's a lot of teams to climb over for sure. You got 2 months of baseball. Their playoff odds are not good, but baseball being baseball, you just never know. And that's why I think for me it's really intriguing to see what this front office does. And that's why if it is maybe a little half buy half sell thing where you're making changes, some expiring contracts, but also getting some people in to help right now.
Weatherholt sends one to center. Back is Varsho for out number 2.
This team has, this organization, this franchise has shown they spend money, and they are up there now with all of the big clubs, and we know what they'll do in the winter. They went out and got Dylan Cease last winter. They are not afraid to spend money to put some people in place to patch some holes or where they think need to be addressed.
And as you say, it's not as simple as just buy or sell. There are more options beyond that. The soft buy, soft sell hybrid fouled off by Walker, 0-1. And I would imagine there might be 4, 5, 6 teams around baseball where the front office is saying, let's play it out a couple more days and then see where we're at.
Yeah, a game, half game in the standings can mean something when you're making decisions like that.
Up the middle and through, a base hit for Walker.
Slider was off the plate away, and that's why Walker was able to just cue it off the end of his bat. Didn't hit it hard, but got it up the middle.
And that'll be the end for Braden Fisher with the left hand hitting Alec Burleson coming up. John Schneider wants his lefty, and Mason Fluharty will be on his way in.
Calling all future baseball stars, Wednesday, August 12th, the Blue Jays Youth Baseball Specialty Ticket is back. Fans who purchase a specialty ticket will receive a Blue Jays Youth elbow guard. Rally your teammates and experience a day of baseball along with games and activities for kids 14 and under. Learn more and find tickets at bluejays.com/specialty ticket.
Thank you, Maria. Mason Fluharty is into the game. There's a runner at first, 2 down, top 7, lefty-lefty matchup with Alec Burleson. 57th appearance of the season for Fluharty, still the major league leader in that regard. A throw to first, runner back.
Mason surpassing his appearance total last year, pitched in 55 games for the Blue Jays.
Outside, ball one to Burleson.
Tough against lefties with that cutter sweeper combination.
Holding lefties to a 182 average on the season. This is popped up. Kirk is coming back to the screen. No play. Well, there have been 3 or 4 by the Cardinals that have been hit like that and just have managed to find their way into the seats. One and one the count. Up and in. 2-1. That 92 will get on you if you're leaning out a little bit expecting a sweeper away.
That's that little cutter that didn't cut. Backed up on Mason a little bit. You see that arm angle where he comes from, and if he doesn't get out front and finish that pitch, it stays arm side.
Foul back. 2-2. Walker the runner, held by Guerrero. And the 2-2 pitch. Sweeper away, it's full, which means Walker gets a head start. And Guerrero's going to come off the bag and play behind the runner, alerting Fluharty to that.
Trying to take any extra base potential away from the left-handed hitter in case he's in pull mode.
Check swing. There's no appeal. It's ball 4. Kirk's asking for it, but the appeal not granted by Rob Drake at the plate. Now he just granted it. I guess Drake didn't see that Kirk was asking, so Kirk just kept on asking. But it's no swing, and it's ball 4.
And you'll never get that call after a long delay, but this one not very close. It's almost just a reaction as a catcher. Anytime that bat moves, you go ahead and check anyway.
So now Fluharty doesn't get the left-handed bat. Now he's got to face a right-handed bat with a couple of men on, and that's going to bring Pete Walker out of the dugout. Jeff Hoffman has gotten out. Remember, Fluharty has to face 3 batters. This is just the second one coming up right now. So if the inning continues, he'd have to face Herrera and then Nootbaar. But Hoffman getting ready in case it goes on beyond that.
Herrera handles the ball in the top half of the zone, I think, better than down. And you saw him hit that fastball off Kevin Gausman as a fastball up. So if he can get, whether it's the cutter or sweeper, down, I think you increase your likelihood for success against a good hitter like Herrera.
Tying run at second, go ahead run at first with 2 out in the 7th. Ground ball. Not hit hard. Backhanded by Clement. A little bit of a double clutch and a nice dig by Guerrero, and they get the out. Fluharty makes the pitch he needed to make, and the infield takes care of the rest. The Blue Jays lead 2-1, 7th inning stretch here at Rogers Center. Sign up to become a Rogers customer and be a part of Canada's winning inning. When the Blue Jays get a hit this inning, you can win exclusive 50th season prizes. Visit Rogers.com today. If you're a collector, some cool stuff there, including Gausman 5 2/3, 1 run allowed today. Again, possibly his last outing as a Blue Jay. We don't know. All will become clear over the next 48 hours. Andres Jimenez is going to pinch hit for Luis Urias to begin the bottom of the 7th with Gastelum, a right-hander, on the mound, and he got hit. He squared to bunt, and a breaking ball down and in hit him right in the foot. Says to the dugout he's okay.
A lot of boos coming down from the crowd, but if you're a Blue Jays fan, and as long as Jimenez is okay, you've got to run on first base to lead off this inning. He had nowhere to go. Squaring to bunt, try to get that back foot out of the way.
So he's aboard, and here's Guerrero, who is 1 for 3, had a base hit to right back in the 3rd. Fastball away, ball 1. Grounded left side, Wynn's got it, but there's no play. It'll be an infield hit for Guerrero.
Backup breaking ball, and I think Vladdy got jammed a bit. Mason Wynn does a great job to get to this baseball, but there is no play anywhere.
Well, the Blue Jays will take it. A hit batter and an infield hit, and it's 1st and 2nd. Nobody out for Kaz Okamoto, who is 0 for 3. Swings through a fastball, 0-1.
Good location there by Gastelum. If you keep that fastball out there, you're increasing your chances against an Okamoto.
They have left 7 men on so far today, 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And then a good changeup, and he's out in front 0-2. Fastball high. You know, Joe, the Blue Jays have had the leadoff man on 6 times in 7 innings today. Got to get more than 2 when that's the situation, and maybe they will. We'll see what they do this inning, and I'm sure the Cardinals could say the same thing. They've stranded some runners too. They had chances. Both teams probably feel like they should have more today.
The power of the extra base hit, and both teams lack in that department.
Okamoto got a pretty good pitch to hit right there. $41,819, yet another sellout at Rogers Center. Upstairs, 2-2. Bullpen busy for the Cardinals. Another right-hander, Peter Strzelecki, who worked an inning last night. Way up in the air, back of 3rd. It'll be Wynn, the shortstop. The infield fly rule is in effect. 1 down.
A lot of the same for Okamoto this afternoon, getting these off-speed pitches and just caught out front a few times now in those pop-ups.
That's the first out, and now Gastelum will face George Springer, who is 1 for 3, hit an RBI single in the 3rd. Hitting .327 over his last 14 games. The 1-0 will have to wait. We'll step off to bluff Jimenez back to the bag. Now the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. Again, the change.
Good swing and a really good pitch that had like a lot of downward movement. And that's where when pitchers execute, it makes it much more difficult to hit if he throws that same changeup and it stays up. Look at Ernie's playing a little game.
Bottle flipping. That's a thing.
Yeah. Does it have a little water?
That's a thing.
Gotta have a little weight.
Down the right field line. Walker can't get it. Jimenez is in to score. Guerrero stops at third. It's an RBI double for Springer. It's 3-1.
Not sure there's anybody else you want at the plate right now than George Springer. Just good at bat after good at bat. Fastball up and out over the plate, and he punches it into the right field corner. He was thinking 3, but then he saw the stop sign at third. Vladdy hanging out, so he had to slide and get back.
Last couple of weeks, the best Springer has looked all season. He has given them a 2-run lead and knocked Gastelum out of the ball game as well. Another pitching change coming here for the Cardinals.
From rooftop views to outfield social spaces, the Outfield District is the place for your next summer hangout. Bring your friends and enjoy the game in all the most popular general admission spaces. Secure your tickets at bluejays.com/outfielddistrict.
Maria, thank you. Packed out there as always, and they're enjoying a 3-1 Blue Jays lead right now. Second day in a row they will see right-hander Peter Strzelecki.
Strzelecki just in a couple of games this season for the Cardinals. Right-hander gave up a couple of unearned runs last night.
Big spot here, second and third, 1 out. Infield in for the Cardinals. Alejandro Kirk has walked twice and grounded out once. Trying to get a ball in the air, get something to the outfield to at least cash in Guerrero from third. Swings through it, 1-1. Andres Jimenez was hit by a pitch. Guerrero an infield hit. Okamoto popped up, and then an RBI double to right for George Springer. The 2-1 pitch. Line drive right field. That's a base hit. Here comes Guerrero. Springer is getting the wave, and he's in to score. And it's 5-1.
Alejandro Kirk, much like what we saw earlier, but he can line the ball to right field with the best of them, and he really stays inside this baseball well as it's running in on him. Pulls the hands inside and shoots it to right on a line.
A 3-run bottom of the 7th for the Blue Jays. Dalton Varsho 1 for 3, had a bunt single his last time on.
This Cardinals bullpen has struggled. ERA over 5 since the All-Star break. Matthews kept him in it.
Jeff Hoffman and Brendan Little both up in the bullpen. 3-0. And ball 4. Varsho draws a walk. Clement. Fresh off his bottle flipping exploits moments ago in the dugout. Hoping to parlay that into a base hit here. Looks at a strike. 1 for 3 on the day. He's popped it up on the right side of the infield, and the infield fly rule is in effect. 2 down. So that'll bring up Miles Straw. 1 for 3. Straw had a double back in the 4th. It got Clement to 3rd, and then Clement came in on a sac fly by Urias, so a very important hit for Straw. In the dirt, ball 2. Well, some big hits this inning with men on base. The Springer double to drive in 1, the Kirk single to drive in 2. And a much more comfortable margin now than it was.
Talk so often about George liking to pull the ball, and he drove that ball the other way into the corner.
Two hits, 2 RBIs today for Springer. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Deep left field, caught right at the wall by Nootbaar. The Blue Jays get 3, lead 5-1 going to the 8th, and time now for a Blue Jays Central update with Jamie and Madison.
Before, so when I caught up with him this afternoon, he said he hasn't done much worrying about the trade deadline, saying, quote, rumors are rumors. I don't think about that stuff until something actually happens. However, the difference for Varsho this time around is he's a father now with a young daughter, so he'll be moving more than just himself if he is traded. But Varsho credited George Springer, one of his closest friends on the team, with helping model how to navigate the difficult situations baseball throws at you. Quote, he taught me how to be a leader and not take baseball so seriously at times. Just go out there and enjoy the day and have fun. He's the best at it. I'm jealous of it because I hold on to those things, but I've become more grounded from talking to him.
Arden, thank you. Interesting comments from Varsho, and Arden knows, and Joe, you know, and I get to see as well. I mean, Springer and Varsho are like brothers. You see them all the time. You guess which one is the loud one who's instigating and starting things up, and which guy is the quieter one. Although Springer will swear that there's a whole other Varsho than the guy we see publicly. But they are very, very close. Ernie Clement has now moved to second. Andres Jimenez remains in the game at short. But yes, as Arden says, Dalton Varsho is a dad. There's a line drive to Varsho.
Right to dad.
There it is. We've talked about other guys who you could imagine might be traded. A lot of conversation about Kevin Gausman today, obviously. Kevin Gausman is a dad. Jeff Hoffman is a dad. Max Scherzer is a dad. Miles Straw is a dad. George Springer, now he's got no trade protection, but he's a dad. Shane Bieber is a dad. You know, by kind of definition, the guys who are approaching free agency are a little bit older, and there's a lot of family guys on this team. So you try to block it out when you're at the ballpark and you know you got a job to do, but they've got families. But they also all understand it's part of the business.
It absolutely is,
Yeah.
and this is where they are in their season too. And this is when you go back to the earlier parts of the season. Unfortunately, the Blue Jays have put themselves in this position. Would they love to go back and change some games? Absolutely. But what I thought Arden said there too, George is much more vocal. You'll see him, the big smile. But one thing I've noticed and learned maybe more about George too over the course of his tenure as a Blue Jay is he is just that. He can put an at-bat away and wipe it away. It's a clean slate, not just a game and a day, but an at-bat. And he seems to be very good at that. You have to be in this game because it will drag you down mentally. And I thought that was interesting that Dalton said that. That's what he's trying to learn to be better at.
Down and away, 1-2 on Mason Wynn as Jeff Hoffman is pitching for the second day in a row. He's seeing different hitters today than he saw last night. Last night, 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts as he continues to pitch very, very well. And it's been for about a 2-month stretch right now as Kirk is challenging this.
Catcher's challenging the ball call.
This closer look is brought to you by Specsavers. And it's low, so it remains a ball.
Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
And the Blue Jays down to 1. It's a 2-2 count. Hoffman came out of the closer's role in late May and almost instantly started pitching much better. They put him in, as you talked about last night, Joe, maybe some lower leverage situations, 7th inning, maybe more middle bottom part of the lineup than the top. It's also at about that time he kind of went back into the lab, figuratively speaking, and came out throwing a lot more sliders than he was earlier in the year.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff about this morning, and the timing was impeccable. He's leaning into his best pitch, and it's that pitch right there, the slider. Now, the 4-seam fastball, he was throwing it more, and it wasn't a good pitch. He was getting hit hard, so he just simply said, let's throw your best pitch a little bit more. But what we're seeing too is becoming a little more unpredictable too. It's not always just sliders against righties, splitters against lefties, so he's trying to mix that up as well. But bottom line is going to see fewer fastballs, and it's been working.
A 1-out walk. And here's Nathan Church with the Blue Jays leading 5-1 here in the 8th inning. Fastball in for a strike, 0-1. Church 1 for 3 today, went 2 for 4 last night. Splitter misses up and away. This is fouled back, 1-2. Hoffman, the 4th pitcher of the afternoon. Gausman allowed 1 run in 5 2/3. Fisher got 3 outs. Fluharty the last out in the top of the 7th, and now 1-on-1 out of the 8th. And the 1-2. The appeal, no swing, 2-2. That's in the dirt for ball 3. A nice pick and a snap throw by Kirk, but the runner back in. Now it's full.
As a catcher, when you get this ball in the dirt, if you can pick it cleanly, you know that the runner is probably increasing his secondary lead because he's reading that ball in the dirt. So if you pick it cleanly, come up with a throw anyway. Sometimes you might catch him leading off a little too far.
So it's full on Church. Win is not going, and it's a swing and a miss, 2 down.
Great location with this fastball out on that outside edge. And again, when you're mixing in those splitters as much as he is, that 96 could probably look closer to 100. But the location was impeccable.
And frustration for Church. 2 down. Here's Blaze Jordan. 1 for 3. To right field. He's hit it pretty well. Lucas is going back, and he's got to play it off the wall. The throw on the way to second, cut by Clement. And it'll be a double for Jordan. Wynn held at third.
Well, this was one of his first pitch sliders, but Jordan was right on it. And Lucas is thinking right here, I'm going to come up and play this cleanly and fire it to second base. But I think the other guys were thinking more cutting off for the lead runner that might be heading home. But Lucas threw this ball to second base. They weren't necessarily ready to apply a tag. He's probably in there anyway, but when you field a ball cleanly off the wall like that, it can change what's happening in front of you.
And now Brian Torres is going to pinch hit for Jimmy Crooks here, and that's why Pete Walker's on the mound talking to Hoffman. Torres is hitting .244 in 42 games this year. He is a rookie, 29 years of age, but in his first season in the big leagues. Second and third, 2 down, 5-1 Blue Jays. That's there. It's 0-1. Looks like they might be getting somebody up in the bullpen at the same time. Second outing in as many days for Jeff Hoffman. Ground ball to first. Guerrero's got it. Feeds Hoffman, and he gets out of it. A walk, a hit, but no damage done, and it's 5-1 going bottom 8.
Summer isn't over, so there is still time to visit the ballpark. Cheer on the Blue Jays as they host Bobby Witt Jr. and the Kansas City Royals August 25th to 27th. And just like today with the roof open and the sun shining, there isn't a better place to be. Secure your seats today at bluejays.com/tickets. Dan?
Maria, thank you. Kind of strange. Blue Jays haven't seen the Royals yet. They're coming here in August. Blue Jays going to Kansas City in September. Pedro Pajes is in to catch. And Nathan Lucas leads off the bottom of the 8th in this 5-1 game. It'll be Lucas, Jimenez, and Guerrero. The Blue Jays trying to make it 2 in a row over the Cardinals and 3 in a row overall. Tyler Rogers is up in the bullpen getting ready for the 9th. Rogers did not pitch last night. Louis Varland did pitch last night, got the save. 2 days before that went 2 innings, although he was very efficient, just 20 pitches. But that has the look of a unavailable Louis Varland today. He's not usually this relaxed.
Take a day, Louis.
Yeah. So let's assume Louis is down. It is a 4-run lead, not a save situation, but I think we can assume that Varland is probably down today, but they've already used Hoffman, and now they've got Rogers set for the 9th. And boy, did those 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th look good. And I think it's one area where John Schneider feels really good about things with Varland, Hoffman, the way he's been pitching the last couple of months, Rogers,
Spencer Miles. Conversation, I think,
yeah.
if you want to talk leverage later on in the ball game.
Yeah, some legit late inning high leverage guys. And great point by you, because Schneider was asked about Spencer Miles today, and he said, I think the days of the 3-4 inning outings are behind them, that they may shorten them up to 1 to 2 innings and use him in higher leverage spots later in games. Ground ball to second, one down.
Blue Jays bullpen is in a very good place when you talk about those leverage guys, but putting up that 3 spot in the 7th inning, it changes everything for your pitching coach, for your manager. The way they deploy that bullpen, it just makes life easier on everyone, and you don't have to necessarily worry about a Louis Varland today. He can get that well-deserved day of rest, and that's the stuff that helps you moving forward. Why? Scoring runs, and that's been the issue for the team all season long.
Andres Jimenez is up for the second time. He was hit by a pitch in the 7th and came around to score. Went around. That call made at the plate by Rob Drake, and it's 0-2. The appeal here did not go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the order for the Cardinals in the 9th. Weatherholt, Walker, and Burleson. By the way, Kevin Gausman is the pitcher of record. We don't talk about that much anymore. Don't talk about pitcher wins and losses, but he is the pitcher of record today as Jimenez strikes out. So he's got a chance for a W this afternoon.
There are so many other ways to measure a pitcher's performance, and if you want to look at that, if you're older like us and you think wins are still important, the only reason it's important is because they told you that he was in the game long enough and pitched well enough to give his team a chance, and that's what Kevin does so many times out there.
And he knew he would get, a very warm, strong response when he came off the mound the last time, but I'm sure it made it a little bit extra special to him. He really wanted to pitch well today. You know that.
Yeah.
Knowing it could be his last time in a Blue Jay uniform. Perfect spot there from Strzelecki, and it's 0-2 on Guerrero.
Vladdy's not sure about either one of them.
Guerrero 2 for 4 today, a couple of singles. Springer's driven in a couple of runs. Kirk has driven in a couple of runs. And Urias the other run. 5 runs on 9 hits for the Blue Jays. To the mound, and Strzelecki's got it, and that'll be that. On to the 9th here at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays up 5-1 with Tyler Rogers on his way in. Hey, don't forget, after the game tomorrow, keep it on Sportsnet for part 4 of the Blue Jays Way. 1993 Whamco going for the World Series 2 years in a row. And it's sure to be a great episode. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you see the frustration. Broke the bat on the contact and then finished it off himself. Still trying to fight his way through it. The Blue Jays up 5-1, though, going to the 9th inning, and Tyler Rogers on looking for the last 3 outs.
Tyler Rogers has been so good. 51 games now this season for Rogers. Pitched a third of an inning, gave up a run the other day in Washington. It was just his 2nd run he's allowed in his last 25 appearances. That's how good Tyler's been.
He'll face the top of the order here in the 9th inning. J.J. Weatherholt leading it off for the Cardinals. Rogers is always tricky. He's unique. The arm angle, everybody knows all about that, but especially for younger hitters who may not have faced him before. And Weatherholt's a rookie. Got to be doubly so. No swing. Ball 1. chopped over the mound. Clement has time and makes the play. One more game to come in this series, and we will have it for you tomorrow. The Blue Jays and the Cardinals again at 1 o'clock Eastern time. First pitch at 1:37. Louis Varland looks like he's down today. They haven't used him. That would make him put him back in play tomorrow. If the Blue Jays win this one, they'll be going for a sweep tomorrow. Max Scherzer is the scheduled starter for the Blue Jays tomorrow afternoon. And the Cardinals are scheduled to counter with left-hander Matthew Liberatore. This time of year, you got to say things like our scheduled
to see him. Yes,
stuff can change fast around the deadline. Walker takes all the way and looks at a strike. 2-1.
Now I see some other notes that it could be the righty Michael McGreevy, and Liberatore could be moved back to Monday.
Okay. Their game notes have Liberatore, but maybe they made a change later.
We've got some conflicting reports.
Lucas drifting back to the corner, has room. 2 down. Rogers and the Blue Jays 1 out away from a 3-game winning streak. The batter is Alec Burleson, 2 for 3 with a walk. Well, I'm sure we will all hear from Kevin Gausman at some point after the game. No doubt he will speak with reporters and talk about the ball game, but probably talk about his emotions and his feelings, not just about today, but his time with the Blue Jays. And again, we don't know if Kevin Gausman is going to be a Blue Jay after 6 p.m. Monday. There certainly is a chance, but a distinct possibility he will be dealt as well. But very nice for him that he pitched well today, and the Blue Jays appear to be on their way to a win. Remains 0-2. And this is in the air to left center field. Varsho is there, and that's the ball game. Two in a row over the Cardinals, 3 in a row overall. Some smiles on the field post-game for the Blue Jays as they hold St. Louis to 1 run for the 2nd game in a row, and now have won 3 in a row overall.
Winning baseball games is fun, and that's what draws the smiles in. It was Kevin Gausman's day, a fine effort once again, pitching into the 6th inning for his team, keeping them in the ball game. But big swings from George Springer and Alejandro Kirk to increase that lead and really put the Blue Jays in a comfortable spot the rest of the way.
So they will go for a sweep tomorrow with Max Scherzer on the mound. We hope you can join us for it. The broadcast begins at 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Again, the final here at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays defeat the Cardinals again today by a score of 5-1. And it's time now for Blue Jays Central with Jamie and Madison.